How does one tie a simple, that is to say, generic, non-Sikh, non-Joan Crawford, non-large fabric requiring stereotypical turban? Well, the answer is rather simple, as we may expect. I will demonstrate one particular method which I have found to be useful. You may have others. Actually, I have two methods I want to show you. One of them is sort of a special treat for being so nice as to watch, if you do watch. But anyway, to get to the point. This is a shamad. It's a very standard sort of fabric. You should be able to find it cheaply and easily anywhere. I got two from Amazon. This is the red one. It's the nicer one as opposed to the brown one, which isn't quite so flashy. So I'm using it. So let's use it. Let's take a look and see how we do this. First of all, find a corner. It should be square, so there should be four of them. Any of them works. If you can find one at all, and I trust you can. Put it over the center of the forehead, like so. Cover the head for the most part. And take the trailing bit off to one side. I'm doing the right, as you can see. I don't see any reason why you couldn't do the left. Wrap it around your head, just like so. Some people like to go diagonally, zigzagging. I'm just going round and round. I don't know that particularly matters. It may, depending on the look you're going for. You can try it either way. But this is the easier way, in my opinion. Then you want to bunch it up, like I'm doing now, to make it look sharper anyway, and to make it tighter so it won't fall off if you decide, oh, I want to go running in a turban today, or I want to go jumping around in a turban today, or I want to go doing this and that in a turban today. Various things you can do in a turban, and you don't want it to fall off during those events, during those activities. That would be a bad thing. Unless you're not supposed to be wearing a turban in the first place, in which case I question where you live where you can't wear a turban safely. Unfortunately, there are some places, but this is not one of them, thankfully. So, gather up the turban, make it nice and tight, bunch it up, roll it up, make it look nice and smart, make sure it covers the top of the head, so forth and so on. Probably don't want to have any hair sticking through the top, and again, if I didn't say this already, which wouldn't be again, it would be for the first time, but I may have said it already, this might take some practice. It's a bit like tying a tie, especially if you're learning a new knot. It will not be perfect the first few times you attempt it, but eventually it's not that difficult to get down more or less properly, and again, unless you are, well again, not again, but unless you're doing this for some very special purpose, you're going out to meet the Shah, or whatever, I don't think it terribly matters that it doesn't look perfect. But as you can see, this is how it looks right now. The tassels should not be that big of a problem. They should be easy enough to roll up. Easy enough to roll up, for those of you who read lips, if you can read mine. But yes, as you can see, this is a very, very simple, generic, non-Sikh, masculine, again, non-Joan Crawford turban. It doesn't require a lot of material, doesn't require a big investment either. But I want to show you that second way I promised you. I want to show you how to tie, again, very simple turban, using the same material with a fez underneath, as was sometimes historically done. Exactly when and where I'm not sure. I believe there was some, this was an Ottoman sort of thing to do, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, naturally. Ottoman is a very expansive period in time and space. But anyway, yes, to get to the point, obviously we can't take it over the top of the head this time, so we have to use a slightly different technique. The technique we are going to use is, again, you want to take the corner, or I take the corner, do what you want, see if it works for you, but put it over the forehead like so, right about at the edge of the fez, so that it overlaps with your forehead and the fez. Start wrapping it around. You don't want to let it go like I just did, that would be stupid. Take it, hold it in place, then start wrapping. Wrap, 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 wrap. I could make a rather juvenile joke here, I will not. Just keep on wrapping like so, then tuck it in. Again, you want to tighten it a bit, you want to roll it up so that it doesn't fall off, and to make it look sharper as well. And I didn't do as good a job with the tassels this time, but maybe you like the tassels, I don't know. Doesn't really matter either way to me. Get that nice and tight. I've said that several times. Pay attention to the back. You want it to overlap again with the fez and your hair in the back so that neither the edge of the fez nor your hair shows through as much as you can make that possible. At least that's my opinion, that's what I think should be done. You may want to untuck the tassel if you have a tassel. You may want to untuck the tassel if you have a tassel, again for the benefit of lip readers. And as you can see, it is a decent look. I prefer it the other way, but with the fez it is not a bad look, and that is how it's done, or rather one way to do it. There are many ways to tie a turban. Again, it's a bit like tying a tie. Many different styles, you do have to practice somewhat, but this is a simple and easy and a relatively cheap way, or rather two simple, easy, relatively cheap ways. Fezzes are also rather cheap, unless you're getting the expensive ones, which I don't know why you would exactly. This one was fine with me. I've talked too much, you've seen what you need to see, and I will say goodbye, and thank you if you have indeed watched.